As an RA, there's a lot they teach you, but the defining moments are often the moments they don't teach you. I think about back to my first semester when I had a dryer melt on me and I had to remove all the casing that melted inside. Or the dorm party I shut down and some members of my student organization were in it. Or the pipe that burst 4 floors and I had to run and go organize with custodians. But at the end of that semester, my boss came to me and the big thing I still needed to prove on was I needed more experience. I needed to be quicker, more in the moment, be super fluid, and be able to handle things on the spot because you can have a crisis at any moment. And so I get into this semester, and it's Valentine's weekend. It's February 13th. I'm on a power weekend, which is RA lingo for you are on call the whole weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And yes, Thursday is a weekend because there's a certain activity college kids like to do on Thursdays. And we get through our first set of security rounds just fine. There's 2 of us, a primary and a secondary. I'm on secondary, which means I don't have the immediate phone. I'll get called if something happens. And we get through our rounds just fine, but we can tell there's something off. I like to refer to it as my RA gut. You can kind of think of it like a spidey sense, like, ooh, something wrong is going to happen. I can feel there's just something wrong, but I'm not quite sure. So I end up going, our last set of rounds is at 2:15 in the morning, and I end up finally deciding to go to bed at around 4 a.m. It's around 4:10 or so. And as I'm literally hitting the pillow, I hear a brrr, brrr, and it's my primary. And she goes, hey, we have a little bit of a situation in Courier. I'm in Stanley. We're connected to Courier. And I've already called campus security, but it's a little bit of a situation. So I'm like, okay, great. I'm in my PJs. I have this like super baggy shirt on and just like my PJ shorts. And I'm like, all right, let's see what it is. The RA gut was paying off. All right. And so I go and we're down this super long hallway that connects the 2 buildings. And we notice this girl here. Now, for the story, I'm going to call her our frequent flyer, which I will explain later. But she's there. She's in the usual going out attire. She's got the jeans, she's got the leather jacket, she's got her cute little white Von Maur purse or whatever. But she's like slumped out and she's very clearly out of it. Like we try to open her eyes and they shut right away and like not moving, very shallow breathing. And so I meet up with the primary and we sit there for a minute and take it in because obviously we're trained for these things, but we're taking in the gravity. We have a kid who's potentially alcohol poisoned. So we sit there for a minute, we look at each other and then we go. It's at this point, it's 4:24 a.m. Primary calls 911. Campus security starts to come about a minute later or so, but we have to check for breathing. The timing between the caller and the primary didn't sync, so I have to go sprint to the other end of the hallway to get the AED, and I have to like rip it out of the case, come back. I start putting the pads on. There was no shaving, thankfully. And then campus security shows up. The breathing's fine, so there were also 2 cops as well, so they go over, check on the girl. I'm busy getting documentation with campus security. Campus security also, I find out from them, this is the 4th time they've seen this girl in the past 2 weeks. That's why she is a frequent flyer. And I don't catch much when the cops start to wake her up, but I do catch, you have to ask some questions just to see if she's of sober mind or not. And I don't remember too many of them, but one I specifically remember was, what is Mickey Mouse? You know, a little bit of an interesting question. But then she goes, it's a dog or a cat? And so she very clearly was a little out of it. And then at that point, it's around 4:38 in the morning or so. And then the paramedics are there. The firefighters come. I'm busy grabbing info for them because we have to write all this up after. We get her on the stretcher. She goes out. Everyone leaves. And then we're relieved because she was alive. She was breathing by the end of it. She's able to go to the hospital and get the care she needs. But our job isn't over. We have to write the incident. So we book it down that long hallway to the Courier front desk because we have a shared front desk. And we're going to meet with the desk clerk to write up the report. But when we go there, we can see the desk clerk's also clearly out of it. She was dealing with the fire computer and some stuff with fire, like pre-alarms for fire alarms going off. So her hair's frazzled. Her tire marks under her eyes look like war paint. She was clearly going through it. And we write up the report with her. But by the end of it, we also find out the RAs in Courier, who, by the way, should have been taking care of this incident in the first place, never answered the phone, which they got chewed out for later. But in the moment, it's like, whew, Okay. Well, someone's got to hold the desk because at this point, this girl's been here for 45 minutes over a shift. It ended at 4 a.m. And so I offer to do it because I'm the secondary. Normally, that's the policy for that. And I allow the primary to also go get some sleep. And she's like, oh, I'm going to tell this to the bosses in the morning. And she like put her foot down and was super enraged. And she leaves. And so I'm there from 5 a.m. to exactly 8 a.m. The sun comes up in my sleepy delirium. I'm like, oh, I see the next desk clerk come in and I like do a little dance, jump around. And then I go back in my sleep delirium. And I don't remember much other than when I walked back down that long hallway, I noticed a mysterious ring of liquid where our frequent flyer was. Just as a fun little reminder that this was still all in the same evening. And then I went to bed. I slept from around 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I went on for the rest of the weekend, was relatively calm. But my boss was right. Through that experience, I think about some of the stuff I've had this semester. I think about the washer that completely flooded on me. I think about the time 2 weeks after when one of my residents comes up to me and is, hey, I have a kid passed out in the bathroom, and we wake him up and get him back to his room. And I realized that through having that experience and going through that courage, obviously it can be something that is maybe it's shooting your shot or it's some big thing, but also it can be doing these experiences again and again and again, and you get quicker and you get faster, and there's a point where courage doesn't feel like courage anymore. It can become second nature. Thank you.